Have you ever given someone a ride and wished you never did? Tonight's story will make you question every passenger you pick up, every abandoned house you pass by, and whether some people should ever be left alone. This is the terrifying true encounter of a man named Chris, and the house he could never leave, because they're not gone yet. It was the kind of night that made you question every sound, every shadow, every breath you took. The air was thick and damp, crawling into my lungs like something alive. My hands tightened on the steering wheel as I navigated the empty roads of the suburbs. Streetlights flickered like dying stars, casting long, distorted shadows across cracked asphalt. My radio was dead static, and the only sound was the soft whine of my tires against wet pavement. That's when I saw him. A man standing at the curb, pale, still, and watching. No movement except for his eyes. His clothes were dark, blending into the night. He raised one hand slowly. I hesitated. Something about him didn't sit right. I pulled over. Need a ride? I asked, already regretting it. Without speaking, he opened the door and slid in beside me. His name came much later. Chris, he whispered, his voice hoarse like it hadn't been used in days. We drove in silence for miles. My eyes kept flicking toward him. He didn't fidget, didn't ask where we were going, didn't even look out the window. Just sat there, staring straight ahead, unmoving except for the faintest twitch of his jaw. I tried to make conversation. So, Chris, you new in town? No response. I cleared my throat. You good? Still nothing. I felt the hairs on my neck rise. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, I asked, where to? He exhaled slowly like something heavy inside him weighed him down. Just the house, he murmured. What house? I asked. He shook his head. You'll see. I followed his directions through twisting back roads, past shuttered storefronts and dark parks where swings moved slightly in the wind, though no one was around. We came to a crumbling, paint-chipped house at the end of a dead-end street. The lawn was overgrown, weeds clawing at cracked concrete. Windows were covered in grime and darkness. No lights. No movement. I parked by the driveway and turned to him. Here we are. He didn't move. I opened my door. Come on, man. It's here. He shook his head. I can't, he whispered, eyes wide with terror. Not yet, they're not gone yet. What? I frowned. They're still here, he whispered, his lips barely moving. You can't see them, but they're watching, waiting. I can't go. Go. What did he mean? I slammed the door shut, my heartbeat racing. Chris, it's just a house. Nobody's here, I said, forcing a smile. His eyes welled with tears, but he didn't move. I glanced at the front door. It was shut tight. No noise, no movement. A chill ran down my spine. My fingers shook slightly on the wheel. All right, I muttered, half expecting him to step out. But he stayed frozen, staring ahead like his body belonged to someone else. I sat there a minute longer, debating whether to call the police or just drive away. Before I could decide, something about the air shifted. The temperature dropped. The windows fogged over with icy breath. My skin prickled like 1,000 tiny fingers grazed it at once. Then it happened. A soft, wet tapping from the rear window. I whipped my head around. Nothing. But the tapping came again. Slow. Measured. Like fingers dragging across glass. I froze. Chris's eyes flickered toward the back window for the first time. His mouth quivered. They're still here. The tapping stopped. I yanked the key from the ignition and opened my door. Come on. I barked. Let's go in, Anne. But his face twisted with fear. No, he screamed suddenly, startling me. You can't. They're not gone yet. You'll bring them in with you. His eyes were wide pools of panic. He pushed the door open and scrambled out of the car like something chased him. Before I could stop him, he ran toward the house, but only halfway. Then he stopped dead in his tracks, as if struck by an invisible wall. He stumbled back into the car, shaking, and slammed the door shut. I sat there, stunned. What the hell is going on? I whispered to myself. I kept driving for a while, heart racing. I figured I should drop him off somewhere safe or call 911. But before I could decide, I glanced in the rearview mirror. The driveway of the house was empty. But for a second I thought I saw movement in the back window. Something, or someone, staring at us from the darkness. My stomach turned. I took a deep breath and pulled over a block away. I reached for the door handle. But then, the tapping came again. This time from the front window. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. My hands froze. I could feel my pulse in my fingertips. Chris whispered in a trembling voice, "They're waiting." I started the car again without another word and sped off. I thought I had left it behind. But as we approached the same neighborhood again, almost like it had pulled us back, Chris tensed. "I have to go," he said. "Are you serious?" I barked. "You're scaring me." He didn't respond. Without thinking, I turned into the driveway again. The house was darker than before. The air hung heavier, like the night itself had thickened. He turned to me one last time. "I can't," he whispered. "They're not gone yet." But before I could stop him, he opened the door and jumped out again. This time he didn't stop halfway. He sprinted toward the front door. His feet didn't touch the ground properly, as if something unseen dragged at his ankles. I shouted, "Chris?" He looked back one last time. His eyes were wild. There was something else behind them. Something crawling. I never saw him again. The next morning I drove back to the house. The lawn was dead, the weeds wilted, and the windows clear. No sign of Chris. No footprints in the gravel. Only the silence. But as I turned the key in the ignition and prepared to leave, the soft tapping came once more, from the back window. There's a reason some doors shouldn't be opened. And some people shouldn't be given a ride. Some doors are better left closed. Some stories are better left untold. But tonight you've seen what hides in the shadows, and sometimes they're not gone yet. If you enjoyed this terrifying experience, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, so you never miss another nightmare. Share your thoughts, and if you've had something strange happen, leave it in the comments below, if you dare. Until next time, stay safe, and keep the lights on.